See, we are going to study wave optics, in which different phenomena of light, interference, diffraction, and polarization we are going to discuss in detail. Interference of light. Interference of light is a redistribution of light energy due to superposition of two light beams to give maximum and minimum intensity. It is interference of light. In this situation, the two light beams, whenever in phase, giving brightness, that is maximum, known as constructive interference. When two light beams are out of phase, then they are giving darkness, that is minima. It is known as destructive interference. Whenever we study interference pattern, the basic conditions needed to get the interference pattern are that the two light beams should be monochromatic. They should be coherent, equally bright, narrow, etc. Usually in rainy season, we are finding the colored fringes on dirty water where oil gets splitted. Whenever oil gets splitted, then it is get spread on the surface, forming thin film, and the interference of light incident on it taking place. This interference of light is due to the thin film that we are going to study in detail. Thin film is the film having thickness of the order of wavelength of visible light, and in such a case the interference pattern is produced when coherent beams are incident on it. The coherent beams can be obtained using different methods, and one of these methods is amplitude division method. In this, suppose this is the glass film or a glass chip on which the normal is drawn in this way. The light beam of intensity I incident on this. It is partly reflected, giving beam having intensity I1, and partly transmitted or refracted having intensity I2. It is observed the intensity I is equal to I1 plus I2, and in this situation the intensity is distributed. Intensity I of incident beam is distributed as a reflected beam and the transmitted beam. Again, the intensity is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. Means, as it is intensity is distributed or intensity division takes place, then the amplitude division also takes place. Therefore, here the beam reflected, beam transmitted are the coherent beams. Those are obtained by amplitude division. Whenever we are going to study the interference in detail due to thin film, the thin film is a film of transparent medium having thickness of the order of wavelength of visible light, and here we will have this thin film having refractive index mu of denser medium. Here it is air medium, the refractive index mu is equal to 1, and T is thickness of the medium. This is the incident beam. At this, it is a get reflected in this direction as AD and in this direction as AB. It is transmitted. Here from this it is reflected in this direction as BC. Further it is transmitted in this direction. Then this beam and this beam are obtained from same beam from the point say A. These two are obtained from same beam, same light beam. These are coherent beams. Those are going to interfere at infinity, and therefore this interference pattern obtained due to these two beams are obtained by amplitude division method. Whenever geometry is applied, that is, this is angle of incidence, this is angle of incidence by laws of reflection, this is angle of refraction, and further the laws of refraction are applied. The diagram is completed in this way. This DC is a perpendicular drawn, then this AD and this beam are coherent beams undergo interference. Path difference between these, that is say this AD is the path in air, this AB and BC is the path in denser medium, and from this we will have the further situation using geometry of the figure. The path difference in geometrical condition is obtained in this way. Using different geometry and Snell's law, we will get the path difference in this way. It is 2 mu t cos r. Applying different geometry and calculation, this path difference is obtained. Using this path difference and the Stokes law, we will find that path difference of the order of lambda by 2 exists in case of reflected beams and no path difference for transmitted beams. If it is to be considered path difference in case of reflected beam, it is 2 mu t cos r plus minus lambda by 2. For constructive interference, this is to be equated equal to n lambda. Then the resultant condition obtained, it is 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. For destructive interference, this path difference is to be equated to the 2n plus minus 1 lambda by 2, and a modification for destructive interference in case of thin film for reflected beams, it is 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda. Further, in case of transmitted beams, path difference is 0. Therefore, the 2 mu t cos r is the resultant path difference. In this case, for constructive interference, 2 mu t cos r is equal to n lambda, and for destructive interference, 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2n plus 1 by 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the conditions for constructive and destructive interferences in case of reflected beams and transmitted beams. The film of transparent medium can be obtained in one different way, and one different way is this is horizontal layer of the film. This is the layer of the film which makes an angle theta with the horizontal. Such a film of transparent medium is known as a wedge shaped film. In this wedge shaped film, this is incident ray. At this it is normal, it is get refracted in the denser medium. From this it is reflected in this denser medium, and at this it is get refracted in this direction. This is original reflected ray. These rays going to meet in backward direction whenever produced. Then these are giving the interference pattern. Here the thin film is formed in this way. This is horizontal transparent glass plate. This is transparent glass plate where there is some glass plate is some obstacle or the insertion is taken, so that the wedge shaped film is formed. When monochromatic light is incident on this, we will get the interference pattern in terms of alternate bright and dark bands, that is fringe pattern, which is a parallel to the edge of the wedge. These are the equidistant bright and dark bands, and this that is parallel to the edge of the wedge. This is the typical condition of interference pattern in case of wedge shaped film. These are used in different ways in engineering field for testing of different conditions. These are the conditions for the interference in wedge shaped film, similar to the uniform thickness film, where path difference is 2 mu t cos r plus theta. This is specific condition in case of wedge shaped film, that angle is r plus theta. The path difference condition is in this way, and similar way we are getting the constructive interference. This condition 2 mu t cos r plus theta equal to 2n plus minus 1 lambda by 2. In case of destructive interference, 2 mu t cos r plus theta equal to n lambda. For transmitted beams, there is no typical condition for path difference, and therefore we will have path difference 2 mu t cos r plus theta. For destructive interference, it is say 2 mu t cos r plus theta is equal to n plus lambda, and for destructive interference 2 mu t cos r plus theta equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, where theta is angle of wedge. These interference conditions are applied to test different conditions in engineering field. One, that is testing of optical flatness. The surface of particular article manufactured in the industry can be tested for its flatness. It is necessary for better use of better quality samples. Here the sample is taken in this way, and the transparent material film is kept over it in such a way that it will form a wedge shaped film. Whenever the monochromatic light is made to incident on surface, then if the surface is exactly optically flat, then we will find the equidistant parallel alternate bright and dark bands in this way in typical interference pattern. But the surface, if it is not exactly optically flat, then irregular shaped films can be obtained. Suppose the surface is concave, then in this way the interference pattern with concave fringes is obtained. If the surface is convex, then in this way the pattern is obtained. In this way the surface can be tested, and the surface can be further considered for testing, and the roughness can be or surface can be modified or cleaned in particular way. The further application, anti-reflection coating. In many cases, the light is to be made incident on the surface. The total light energy is to be entered into the system, and for this purpose, the reflection is to be prevented. For preventing reflection, it is not directly possible, and for this purpose, the particular materials are to be used. If the refractive index is larger is the reflection. Refractive index is small, then smaller is the reflection. And for this purpose, the glass sample having refractive index 1.5, for this purpose, the material MgF2 having refractive index 1.38, less than that, it is to be coated over the surface. Whenever the light made to incident in this way, it is entering into the medium MgF2 having wavelength lambda dash, where it is in air lambda. Then these two reflected beams are showing that path difference is lambda by 2, which is darkness, means no reflection, and this is modified in this way. Usually path difference is equal to 2 mu t. For darkness, path difference is lambda by 2. If you are going to use the material in the form of refractive index mu, it is lambda divided by lambda dash, and using these two values we will get t is equal to lambda dash by 4. Thickness of the material medium in the form of anti-reflection coating should be lambda dash by 4. The typical value is to be determined, and that particular layer is to be coated for anti-reflection coating. We are going to discuss diffraction. The bending of light at sharp edge of an obstacle to produce geometrical shadow is called diffraction. Diffraction are of two types. Fresnel diffraction, source and screen are at finite distance from the obstacle or a slit. This cannot be studied mathematically. And second, Fraunhofer diffraction, source and screen are at infinite distance from the obstacle or a slit. This can be studied mathematically. Fraunhofer diffraction at single slit can be studied in this way. The single slit having slit width A, and it is divided into number of multiple slits having equal slit width, say x. Whenever light entering, it is bending at an angle theta, and that producing the pattern in this way. The pattern shows the maximum intensity at the center exactly opposite to the slit, and the minima is produced in this way. This maximum intensity in the pattern is represented in this way. That is, maximum intensity condition is a sin theta is equal to m lambda, and this is obtained from geometry of the figure. The conditions for this, that is the assumption of infinite source distance, gives a plane wave at the slit so that all amplitude elements are in phase, and this is giving the resultant pattern. Slit width, that is A, comparable of wavelength of light, is divided into n slits of equal parts of width x. All points on it behave as a point source emitting secondary waves in all directions, and we get the diffraction pattern of alternate maxima and minima with decreasing intensities having maximum intensity at the center as central maxima. This is typical case of Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. The central maxima is obtained exactly opposite to the slit, that is at angle of diffraction theta is equal to 0. The minimum intensity is at a sin theta is equal to n lambda, where n is order of diffraction. Secondary maxima is at a sin theta equal to n plus 1 half lambda, and the central maxima width can be determined in this way: 2d lambda divided by a, where d is the distance between slit and screen, lambda is wavelength of monochromatic light, and a is slit width. Whenever the monochromatic light is allowed to pass through the circular aperture, then due to Fraunhofer diffraction, the diffraction pattern consists of central bright disk surrounded by decreasing intensity rings. This is called as Ayres disk surrounded by Fenter rings. It is represented in this way. Plane diffraction grating is the device. An optical device consists of large number of equidistant parallel slits on a transparent chip. By drawing sharp lines on a glass chip using fine diamond, it can be manufactured in the form of few thousand lines per centimeter. In this diagram, it is showing A is the width of the slit, B is the width of opaque space formed by sharp diamond. A plus B is the width of the line, that is known as grating element, and 1 upon A plus B, that is number of lines per unit length for a given plane diffraction grating. It can be used, that is monochromatic light is normally incident on a grating, then each slit produces Fraunhofer diffraction pattern, and resultant of all these patterns gives the diffraction pattern due to grating in the form of central maxima surrounded by minima and maxima with decreasing intensities. The condition for maxima is d sine theta bright equal to m lambda, where m is order number of diffraction. Here it is represented in typical way in the diffraction, that theta is angle of diffraction. This is central maxima, then first order maxima. This first order maxima, between these, this is the position, and this is the position of first order minima. This slit represented in this way with the angle theta, that is angle of diffraction. Whenever two objects are at larger distance, very close to each other, those can be observed using, say, telescope or binoculars. And in this situation, we are observing them separately. That is known as resolution. And this resolution is studied typically by scientists Rayleigh, and it is in the form, that is a central maxima in diffraction pattern of the one falls on the first minima in a diffraction pattern of the other, then they are said to be just resolved. This is what the condition, that is they are just resolved. This is what the condition, they are unresolved. This can be represented in the intensity distribution pattern, and this is the intensity distribution pattern where those are completely resolved. Those are again here completely resolved. Here those are just resolved, and this is the condition, they are unresolved in a Rayleigh's resolution pattern. Third phenomenon of light, that is polarization. Polarization, the phenomenon of restriction of vibration of electric field vector in a single plane is called polarization, and such a light is known as polarized light. Using two calcite or quartz crystals with a parallel axis give plane polarizer light. The first crystal is a polarizer, while second analyzes direction of plane of vibration of electric field vector is analyzer. Polarizer light can be obtained by reflection using Brewster's law and by double refraction. Double refraction is typical phenomenon of light giving plane polarizer light in a simple way. When an object is seen through calcite like crystal like calcite, quartz or tourmaline, then at a certain orientation we observe two images of object. If the crystal is in that orientation and rotated, then one of the image remains stationary called ordinary image, while other rotates with the crystal is an extraordinary image. This phenomenon is called a double refraction or by refringence. It can be studied from geometry of calcite crystal. Here the principal plane of calcite crystal is represented in this way. The unpolarized light is represented, that is entering into the calcite crystal. Here at the optic axis, this is a gate divided into two paths. This is one path where the vibrations are in the plane of the figure, and vibrations are parallel to the plane of the figure, and here for O ray the vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the figure. Separate representation of E ray and O ray due to the double refraction shown in the calcite crystal in this way. The double refraction phenomenon is very well explained by scientist Huygens, and here the typical assumptions are made by him, that is every point on double refracting medium emits two wavefronts, one having same speed and a refractive index in all directions with spherical shape is ordinary, that is O ray, and obeys all the laws of optics, while other with a varying speed and a refractive index in all directions with ellipsoidal shape is extraordinary, that is E ray, do not obey the laws of optics. Both O ray and E ray travel with the same speed along the optic axis. This is typical representation and typical assumption. And here the diagrams are showing the specific types of crystals and double refraction, that is positive and negative. For positive, the speed of ordinary ray is greater than the extraordinary ray. Therefore, this diagram showing the ellipse is within the sphere. That is, if NO and NE are the refractive indices, VO and VE are the velocities of O ray and E ray respectively, then for positive crystal, VO is greater than VE and NO less than NE, that is represented in this diagram as a positive crystal. In negative crystal, VO less than VE and NO greater than NE, that is represented in this diagram, That is, sphere is within the ellipse, representation of the negative crystal. Thank you.